Even. It's even. All right, let's go.
So we got a little funny first quarter, and it is what's going on in Pittsburgh. They grab Russell Wilson in free agency, then trade Kenny Pickett to the Eagles in exchange for a third-round pick. Finally, they get Justin Fields in a deal with the Bears. The Bears managed to squeeze out a sixth round out of that.
It's absurd.
It's absurd. Seriously. So, this is basically promising Russell Wilson the starting job. Who will be the starter this season? And how much better will Pittsburgh be when they were last year? What is this? How do you
They
spell
will
that
be much better than they were last year. They will be a lot better because if you add a quarterback who has played so many years in the NFL, Super Bowl winning quarterback, I get he wasn't very good with Denver, but this was a team that wasn't anything exciting. They had basically no running game, a not too impressive O-line, and receivers who hadn't proved to be superstars. Now you have George Pickens, who is on the rise. You bring in Van Jefferson and a new OC in Arthur Smith, who was the head coach of the Falcons, and you are going to have a team. On defense, you bring in Patrick Queen, Deshaun Elliott, Dante Jackson. They're building this team to win a Super Bowl soon. And bringing in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields just means that they are planning to win right now with Russell Wilson. Justin Fields, in my mind, is a future player. He's a guy who's still young. He's a guy who has starter experience, but hasn't been exceptional. And he's someone that can start for you in the future after sitting behind somebody who you have a similar play style to in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is still an excellent quarterback. If you look at his stats from last year, he actually played really, really well on a team that wasn't very good. I think you throw him in with an excellent defense in Pittsburgh and an excellent team and a better offense, and the AFC might have another problem to worry about.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Although, like you said, defense in Pittsburgh is looking hella strong. They've got Patrick Queen, who was a big part of the Baltimore Ravens defense. You add in Dante Jackson, it's just amazing. And we've seen it this year how a defense can carry a team to the Super Bowl and win. From both sides, you could be carried to a Super Bowl. And oh my God, this just makes him a whole lot scarier. To be honest, I think they're just going to keep Russell Wilson for 1 year, try and mentor Justin Fields, just to, get him in the mix. Unless if Russell Wilson does really bad, then you just throw in Justin Fields right into the mix halfway through the season. I personally think that Justin Fields hasn't had his time to shine. He doesn't have as many weapons that he had in Chicago. I get DJ Moore is really, really good, but apart from that, you don't got much more. So now if you're stepping into a team that has an excellent amount of players, like you said, George Pickens, Van Jefferson, who else do they have? They have Najee Harris. You are stepping into a very good team, which is why I think they shouldn't start Russell Wilson. I think they just start Justin Fields. Start off hot. You got him for a 6th round pick. Great job. I don't know how that goes through. But this, in my eyes, this could be a really promising season for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think this can be a very, very exciting season. You have Patrick Peterson returning again. If you have a corner who's at that point in his career and he's coming back to play for you, you're doing something right. And the moves that they're making in free agency is showing that they want, like I said, they want to win right now. I think, though, Russell Wilson short-term is a better option than Justin Fields. Long-term, Justin Fields easily, any day of the week. But Russell Wilson right now is a guy who you can depend on. He's a good leader. He's a good character, apart from all the cringe and all the media, whatever. But he's a good quarterback. And if you have him play on a team that is building to win a Super Bowl, then I wouldn't be surprised if they can go very far in the playoffs. I'm not saying this is a Super Bowl team yet, But what I am saying is that Russell Wilson is a good enough player to bring a good team to like a deep playoff run. I would not be surprised at all if they make it past the first round of the playoffs. I don't think they're there yet for the Super Bowl. That's why they bring in Justin Fields. You want Justin Fields to be at the level Russell Wilson is at this year in the future so that you don't have to worry about taking a step down from Russell Wilson if you're still trying to build up. If Russell Wilson all of a sudden, let's just say, if they cut Russell Wilson next year, Russell Wilson retires next year, you don't want to have to take a step down. You almost want to take a step up by by having Justin Fields take over as the starter. I am a
Can I?
little worried about. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. Can I just mention how it feels like Russell Wilson is stepping into the 2013 Seahawks again?
It's
They have good
it's
receivers, a good running back, and an excellent defense. I think this could be a Super Bowl team in 2 years.
I think it can be a
But go
Super
ahead.
Bowl
That's
team
that's my
sooner
take.
rather I think it can be a Super Bowl team sooner rather than later. But if you compare this team, and it's not biased, I have the hat on. If you compare this team to the 2013 Seahawks, they're better. The 2013 Seahawks are better in every aspect, apart from
No,
maybe
I
the
know
pass
that.
rush.
No, I get that. I'm just saying it feels very similar. It feels like he's stepping in to similar environment that he stepped in 2013. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm not saying the Pittsburgh Steelers are better than the Seahawks in 2013. The Seahawks in 2013 are single-handedly one of the better teams in NFL history. But
Mhm.
I'm just saying it definitely looks something like this. He's stepping in with two very good receivers. He's got an excellent defense to back him up. I'm just saying, looks really, really good.
Yeah, and you can make comparisons. You can compare Najee Harris to Marshawn Lynch. You can compare Russell Wilson to his past self. You can compare Patrick Queen to Bobby Wagner. You can make comparisons all over the field. My issue is all of those are downgrades from that 2013 Seahawks team, but they're younger. This is still a young team. Apart from a couple veterans, you have Russell Wilson and you have Patrick Peterson. Apart from that, this is a team who is built to win a Super Bowl in the future. They're not built to win right now. And that is why they're bringing in Justin Fields alongside Russell Wilson. In my mind, I could be wrong. They could be planning for Justin Fields to be the starter. But I think if Justin Fields can learn from Russell Wilson for 1 or 2 years, and then he can be a leader and a quarterback that can bring you deep in the playoffs and maybe even the Super Bowl, great, perfect, exactly what you want. But right now, Russell Wilson will get the job done. You want Justin Fields to be your Russell Wilson of the future.
Yep, fair enough. But you had something to say, but before I cut you off, was that it or?
Well, I'm a little bit worried about the receiving game. And going back to the 2013 Seahawks, because you're right, this team has a lot of similarities to that team. What happened with the Seahawks was they worked off the play action a lot. And they had great receivers. They had Doug Baldwin. They had a whole bunch of guys who were not superstars, but very good receivers. This is similar, but I feel like Arthur Smith, who is an offensive genius, would want to open up to the passing game a little bit more, bringing in Russell Wilson. I don't think that Russell Wilson will is the scrambling threat he was a long time ago. I think that now it'll be passing or nothing from him. And I think that the offense might struggle. If if Russell Wilson has to take control, that's when the offense may falter because he can't escape the pocket as well as he can. He's not as fast as he is, or it's not as fast as he was. And with Russell Wilson having receivers on the come up but not there yet, the passing game might struggle a bit. Najee Harris is not, we're not looking at prime Derrick Henry. Najee Harris is a great running back, but we're not looking at Saquon Barkley, you know? He's not Josh Jacobs. He's not the top, like the cream of the crop running. He's not a cream of the crop running back. He is a guy who will get the job done. But this offense isn't a superstar offense that I think can score enough points to take you to the Super Bowl.
And that's a very good take. Just saying, it looks really similar. All
Oh,
right,
I know,
but
exactly.
But it's still, like you said, they could really struggle. Like you said, they have a very young, talented team that they are on the come up. On the come up, but I don't know, man. George Pickens last season was something else. It was 100 yards game after 100 yard game. But that's all I.
Yes,
What
yes,
do I
but
know? I'm not no expert.
no, I know, but I think you can agree with me on this. I hope you can. He's not Justin Jefferson. I don't think he's a true number one receiver. He's not as good as Justin Jefferson. He's not as good as Cooper Kupp. I would argue that he is a top 15 receiver. I think there are receivers who are faster than him and generally run better routes than him, get more open than him. He has crazy hands. George Pickens, I'm saying, has potential to be the best receiver in the league. But right now, where they are right now, I don't think that he is a good enough weapon that Russell Wilson can throw to him 10 times a game.
All right.